Now at 5 a.m., it's WKYT This Morning, and thousands are expected to attend the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Just ahead, what you need to know if you're preparing for a trip to Churchill Downs.
Morehead state officials are facing a huge financial dilemma, and now some students are beginning to worry about their future on campus.
And support continues for a father killed in a trench collapse. And now a Lexington neighborhood is raising money to help his family.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good Friday morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant. And it's such an exciting time here in the Commonwealth. We know everybody's watching Kentucky. If you actually live here, you get to experience it firsthand, one way or the other.
I'll tell you what, I was out getting my nails done yesterday, and it was packed. People coming in and out, having parties this weekend, just preparing for the day.
Lots going on.
Yeah,
and the weather, it looks like it's going to cooperate quite nicely as well. Meteorologist Micah Harris is on duty. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, this Friday looks amazing. We're right around 70 degrees later on this afternoon. Virtually no rain chance in the forecast except for the far eastern Kentucky as you get a little bit closer to the West Virginia border. But other than that, I mean, it's a good-looking day. We're in the 40s, yes, this morning, but we'll see that sunshine come through, and that'll heat us up very rapidly, right around 69 degrees. Pleasant day in store, but it's all about Derby Day. What does it look like there? Well, it's crucial on the timing of these storms. I'm going to show you our new hour-by-hour forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Each year, the Kentucky Derby Festival is filled with enjoyable events, all leading up to the running of the roses.
But yesterday, that joy was disrupted by violence. Shots rang out during the annual Pegasus Parade in Louisville. With the two big events going on with the festival today and tomorrow, the Oaks and then the Derby, WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with more on increased security measures to try to keep everybody safe. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Since Derby events draw hundreds of thousands of people, security has always been a top priority for law enforcement. Well, this morning security is even more of a concern after there was a shooting at the festival's oldest and inaugural event. Two teenagers were shot just steps away from the Pegasus Parade as it threaded its way through downtown Louisville yesterday. Police say two 15-year-olds targeted a 17-year-old boy, but a 14-year-old girl was also caught in the crossfire. Officers arrested the two shooters quickly, and they say they are also ready to respond to any safety concerns during Oaks Day and the Derby. While hundreds of Louisville police are on Derby detail this weekend, the FBI will also have agents closely watching the crowds to make sure fans stay safe. Coming up at 5:30, we'll take a look at what the FBI has been doing to prepare for the large event. I'll also go over the list of what you can and cannot bring into Churchill Downs. Spoiler alert, you're going to have to leave that selfie stick at home. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. Facing a nearly $10 million budget deficit, Morehead State University officials are now left with some difficult decisions to make. Administrators say the university has been hurting financially due to declining enrollment and population and nearly a decade of cuts to state funding. As a result, they're left with a $9.7 million budget deficit for 2016-17. Yesterday, MSU President Wayne Andrews outlined a plan to make up for that deficit. It includes revenue enhancements, spending cuts, and a proposal to eliminate 64 positions. 34 positions are already vacant, but the remaining 30 filled positions would be laid off. With financial trouble swirling the schools, some students are now beginning to worry about their future.
I didn't expect anything like this to happen, but as you know, college is kind of a business too, but I would just hope like the business part would be a little less not as big as it has been.
Administrators say the president's budget proposal would make up for $8.5 million of that deficit, but it would still leave $1.2 million. Administrators will present their final budget recommendations to the Board of Regents on June 10th.
A former Franklin County constable and one of his employees are scheduled to be arraigned today. Police say former Constable Thomas Banta and one of his employees, Dre Valentine, are accused of posing as police officers and interrogating a 17-year-old for hours after accusing him of stealing a safe. Investigators claim Banta also ran a prostitution ring out of his home and his private security business in Frankfort. Valentine is charged with kidnapping and impersonating a peace officer, and Banta is facing the same charges along with promoting prostitution.
A judge has decided that 4 people charged in connection to the murder of a Clark County woman will stand trial separately. Police say 19-year-old Amber Caldwell died in December 2014 when a stray bullet came through the floor of her Winchester apartment and hit her. Police later arrested Aaron Staley, Christopher Robinson, Lamont Wilkerson, and Lillian Barnett. Robinson will go on trial first. That date is set for January 23rd.
A Lexington neighborhood is now helping the family of a young construction worker who died in a trench collapse. Investigators say 22-year-old Tyler Williams of Menifee County was working on a construction project along Todd's Road Wednesday when he died. A woman who lives nearby says she wanted to do something to help the Williams family, so she has now set up a fund. Williams leaves behind a wife and 3 young children.
I'm married, I have 2 boys, and I couldn't imagine what our family would do if one of us wasn't able to come home one day. So I just, you know, being a wife and being a mother, I wanted to do something to help.
He worked hard every day. He was so wise beyond his years.
If you would like to donate to the Memorial Fund, you can do that at any Fifth Third Bank. And we have more information on our website, WKYT.com.
One of Lexington's 2 Gordman stores will be closing soon. A store closing sale is now underway at the Gordmans on Sir Barton Way in Hamburg. Officials of the department store say after looking over some options, they decided not to renew the lease at that location. The Gordman store near Fayette Mall will stay open.
Many Kentuckians will make the trip to Louisville for Oaks and Derby this weekend. But what if you are not able to make it?
No need to fear. Race fans can take part in the Bluegrass tradition right around Lexington at the Keeneland Racecourse here in Lexington. Our Mike Byer is already out there having some fun this morning by the trackside. Mike?
Good morning, Michelle. Right here at Keeneland, this could be the place to be this weekend. Trust me, the track is hosting the world's largest Kentucky Derby celebration, so you're not going to want to miss out on the events. They kick off today when the gates open at 9 a.m., but the 2-day events kick off with the Kentucky Oaks finishing up tomorrow with the Kentucky Derby. Admission is free today for Oaks Day, but it'll cost $5 to get in tomorrow on Derby Day. Fans will be able to watch and wager on all races from Churchill Downs on the big video board. This to go along with the more than 1,000 TVs that will be playing all the racing action. Families will also be able to picnic in the paddock and walking ring. Now the party in the paddock kicks off later today from 4 to 7. There will be live music and drink specials. And don't forget, the most important, post time for the Oaks is set for 5:49 p.m. Now coming up at 5:30, I'll hit on more of the events that will be taking place tomorrow here at the track for Derby Day. But for now, live at Keeneland, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. And then, of course, others will just have events around their place, you know.
It's a great time to be here.
It certainly is. 5:07 on WKYT this morning. We're just getting started. It is your Friday Derby weekend in the Commonwealth.
Still to come, an aerial rescue mission turns terrifying in an instant. It was all caught on camera. We'll show you. Come.
Yeah, extremely nice day in store. Awesome looking day, but it's about Saturday. What about the race time? What about the festivities and the events going on? I'm going to show you when the rain moves in coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Pretty good looking day in store. We're finally finishing off the work week on a dry note. It's actually perfect timing for us as Oaks Day looks great. Derby Day looks great until we hit late in the day. I'm going to get into that in just a few seconds. That's what everybody wants to know about. Good looking start to the day. A couple of clouds around. Temperatures are in the 40s. It's a pretty chilly feel once again early this morning down towards Somerset and also Burnside. Go down toward the Burnside Marina, and we're holding on to temperatures there around 41 degrees. Mount Sterling, Owingsville, as you go back towards, say, Salt Lick there in Bath County, and also work your way into Rowan County. Moorhead coming in at 45 degrees. Flemingsburg, Hillsboro, Sharpsburg, back towards Cynthiana, Mount Olivet, I mean, you name it. It's a chill in the air. I mean, in the 40s, that's not typical for this time of year. Typically, we're in the low 50s. But I promise you this, we get into the afternoon, you'll absolutely love this weather later on this afternoon. 69 degrees, perfect weather in store. A lot of sunshine, too. We get a mixture of sun and clouds, but there'll still be at least some sunshine. We didn't get much of that yesterday. Go off into the evening and night, and things look great for anything you have going on. Heading out to eat, I don't see any problems whatsoever. Tomorrow morning for 5Ks, mostly cloudy skies. I will say this for 5Ks tomorrow morning and those events getting going. There is a very slight chance of rain. There's a 10% chance of rain. I just can't rule out a passing light shower or sprinkle. That's it. For the most part, 90% of us stay dry. So obviously you can see this isn't a swath of rain moving on in. It's just a stray shower possible. But for the most part, we stay dry through much of your day on Saturday. Look, it's going to be late in the day that we see that rain on Saturday. And you say, well, what does late mean? Because those post times, when you're getting at 6:34 is the post time, when you're getting close to that, it's when everybody's watching the TV, everybody's having their parties, every festivity's going on. I'll tell you this, it looks like it's going to be after that we actually see the storms move in, and then maybe a couple of rumbles there for Mother's Day on Sunday. Don't forget the card, by the way. Mother's Day on Sunday is coming up on us, but let's break it down for you. Where are we going to be seeing the storm chances during post time? Post time 6:34, near race time, far northern Kentucky, and that does include, that kind of clips that Louisville area. After race time, you're talking I-64 southbound. So if you're in the green, that's the best area you want to be in. If you're talking about having people over or heading out to people's homes and whatnot and sitting in the backyard, this is the area you want to be. This is the area where you do not want to be. Near race time, I mean, it is right on the border. But remember this front isn't even close to us right now. Things will change as we get towards your day. I mean, we still have a good almost 48 hours before we actually hit race time. So just keep that in mind, that things will change as we get a little bit closer. Whether it increases, decreases, it's going to be there. So we'll have to keep you updated as we get a little bit closer. But as of right now, it looks like virtually all of us stay after race time, staying dry until the storms roll on in. So I would say stick to your parties, stick to your plans, stick to whatever you have going on. One thing you will hear, and not the rain falling out of the sky, lawnmowers. I mean, you'll hear those going today, tomorrow. I heard so many across my neighborhood because you just haven't had the chance.
Right.
And grass is so high, so yeah, knock out your lawn.
Do it when you can. That's the thing, you know, you get a couple of nice days, everybody wants to enjoy the Derby, but so much to get done.
Work, man.
You're right.
Do it.
Micah, thank you so much. 5:14 now on WKYT.
An aerial recovery effort on a Utah mountain almost turned catastrophic, and it was all caught on camera.
This newly released footage shows a chopper on a recovery mission hovering just feet from a cliff, but then seconds later a near disaster occurs at 10,000 feet. A volunteer safety rope gets caught in the rotor. Look at that. It caused the chopper to bounce off the mountainside. Amazingly, the pilot was able to regain control and land safely. Eyewitnesses say it was nothing short of a miracle. It really is, just when you see that, how
That is a
difficult
miracle that
situation
everything worked
was.
out.
Yeah. All right. Skilled pilot and obviously some luck as well. Our time is 5:15 on WKYT this morning.
When we come back, we'll have a look at your money.
Customers may soon be able to sue their banks. And now people who watch Netflix on their phones can save some money. I'm Marley Hall, and I'll have those stories and more coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Good morning. It's 5:18. WKYT this morning on the air on your Friday. We're so glad you're along with us. People who watch Netflix on their phones can now limit data usage.
And Amazon is teaming up with Air Atlas. Marley Hall has the latest on your money.
Government regulators are introducing a proposal that may allow customers to sue their banks. When you sign up for an account, the fine print usually includes a section that requires any disputes with the bank be settled by a mediator instead of going to court. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau wants to ban that clause. Stocks closed mixed after 2 days of losses. The Dow gained 9 points. The Nasdaq lost 8. Amazon is teaming up with air cargo services company Air Atlas Worldwide. Atlas will provide support for Amazon's deliveries by leasing them 20 cargo planes. The deal also lets the online retailer buy a sizable stake in the company. If cellular data overages are a byproduct of your Netflix habit, the video streaming service now has a solution. Netflix has introduced data controls that allow viewers to adjust video quality. The company says the low setting, for example, allows you to watch 4 hours per gigabyte of data. That's your Money Watch. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. In New York, I'm Marley Hall.
General Motors is recalling some of its newest trucks and SUVs. The automaker says around 5,000 2016 and 2017 Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac vehicles are being recalled. The recall is due to an issue with the vehicle's front upper control arms. GM says the part could separate from the vehicle This could cause steering issues and increase crash risks. The automaker says the replacement parts are not available yet, but affected owners will be notified by mail when they are. For now, GM is urging affected drivers not to use their vehicles until the problem is fixed. And that might be difficult to just park your vehicle until they get that all situated.
Can you give me a loaner, right?
Yeah. 5:20 is the time on WKYT this morning on your Friday, and it's good to have you with us. A lot more news coming right up.
Yep, sports is next.
Nyquist is your Derby favorite. You will hear from his training staff coming up next. Also, Devin Booker back in town. And yes, once again, he has a huge crowd around him. In UK baseball, they open up with South Carolina tonight. Previews on the way.
It's another pretty chilly and cool start early this morning. Chill. I like that, actually. 47 degrees here in Lexington. We're at 46 degrees there in Mount Sterling. A couple of 50s back toward east and northeastern Kentucky. And as we slide through the day, a lot of sunshine to be had. A really nice feel in the air, 69 degrees. This is a great day. Tomorrow's going to be a great day till we hit the evening and nighttime hours. And I'm going to break that down for you. I'm going to show you exactly when these storms move on in coming up in just a few minutes. First, let's check out sports, see what's going on.
Nyquist is the 3-1 morning line favorite to win the Derby, and he should be the post-time favorite Saturday. Now, yesterday at Churchill Downs, trainer Doug O'Neill, flanked by owner Paul Redham and jockey Mario Gutierrez, sat down to talk about Nyquist. The Florida Derby winner was on the track at 8:30 Thursday morning under regular exercise rider Johnny Garcia. He galloped a strong 1 3/8 miles.
Once he left the pony and started doing the real exercise, he was full of energy, and Johnny joked after getting back to the barn that he couldn't feel his hands, couldn't feel his arms from the amount of energy that Nyquist was displaying. And so there's a lot of smiles. We're still very optimistic, but we're still 2 days away. So just trying to, Paul has taught us to just try to stay even keel and not get too high or too low, and just be optimistic.
If you were at Wildcat Warehouse last night, there were women everywhere trying to get the autograph of Devin Booker. He had a big signing again. Booker also coming off of a fantastic rookie season with the Suns. He averaged more points, assists, rebounds in his first year in Phoenix than he did in his one season at Kentucky.
It was just a situation I was in. Obviously, we had to sacrifice a lot. I mean, you're seeing Carl, even though Carl did a lot last year, he did even more this year in the NBA. It just shows you the sacrifices that we had to make. With so much talent on one team, we were only out there 18, 20 minutes a game. So I didn't get to show the whole package that I wish I did, but I'm glad people are getting to see it now.
Fifth-ranked South Carolina comes to Cliff Hagan Stadium tonight for a 3-game series. Kentucky started out hot in SEC play, winning their first 4 series, but have lost their last 3 since. Javon Shelby says this team is now playing with a chip on its shoulder.
We're angry right now, we're hungry. We know that we don't play like this, but I mean every team goes through it, and we're ready for South Carolina this week, and that's the only thing on our mind right now, South Carolina. So we're ready to play our game, and then just set everything else aside, not worry about anything but playing our game.
And we will have highlights later tonight. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.